I saw them. We're in class now. Okay, 1 second. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, so it's chapter 10 still.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to learn about some formatting.
I don't even remember.
Now, this is, it's good to know this stuff, but remember that when we get into Android, this might work a little different. I mean, not work a little different, it's just because we might be using different classes in Android, but we'll see. Perhaps you'll use this as well. Okay, ready?
Okay.
So, number formatting.
I need more instruction.
Yeah, in the corner, okay? Let me see it now. Take the corner. Sit in the corner, please. In the corner, okay. Sit in the corner. Okay, so say you have this over here. This.
Formatting.
Yes, this is 100 billion. This is 1 billion.
Okay.
And you want the font to look like this.
Okay.
So this is what you'll do. You do string format, and in here, in these quotes, you actually state what the format you want.
What is the
percent? Percentage means whatever. Percentage means like a parameter. Whatever I'm going to put in, format it to this.
Okay.
So D is how they define this. Comma D means it'll look like this.
And if you have 100, you put it also the same.
Yeah, it'll just be 100. Okay, so let me show you some examples. Chapter 10 on. Here's a format tester. Ready? Okay, so let's go to that. Okay, ready? Check this out. Okay, see what happens? Okay, so look at over here. This is number 1. Let's scroll down. Okay, so you see what happened to this one? It printed this out to be this. So percentage sign means whatever comes into here, make it to a comma D. That comma D is how Java says commas for the decimal number. Okay, now look over here. I have once you hit the percentage sign, it knows you're passing it in a parameter. So everything from here to here means how I want to format this thing. So you see, I have 47.10 bugs. So this means give 2 decimal places. That's what it means.
Okay, so you just put 2 commas.
Where's your 2 commas?
No, 1.
Where's it? Over here, this over here means that I'm going to take this and make it go out to 2 decimal points.
How you read it if you code both of them? If it's in a code?
In a quote, good question. So that Java knows that anytime you hit a percentage sign,
So it's reading.
yeah. Anytime you hit a percentage sign, it inserts whatever's over here into there. So read, see over here, I have, see this? That's from this.
Yes.
So anytime you hit a percentage sign, it takes what's over here, flops in there.
What after you put D?
This is all part of this. It goes for, you will see later on how far does it go until it goes back into normal text. But basically, we'll see soon, until it hits a D or an F, it'll know when to go back into normal text. Okay? Okay, now look at this one. This is very similar to the one above, but I added a comma there. So you see over here, now there's a comma.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now you don't have to memorize all these at all. If you're ever interested in formatting something, just Google it. How do I format something in Java to have, commas and 4 decimal places? And you'll very easily figure it out. If you want, you can memorize the rules, but if you forget them...
This code, you made it? This code, you made it?
This one I made, yeah.
So I need to make stuff like that also.
Okay, now look at this one. Check this one now. This one's even got a little neater in here. This one...
What is the...
Check out this one. Before we go today, look at this one for a second. Don't worry, have these in the class now. Okay, so you see over here? there's two parentheses in here.
Okay.
The first parentheses grabs the first parameter over here. The second parentheses grabs this one.
Okay.
Okay, so look, this one goes just to commas. There's no decimal places. And this one has a decimal point for 2 places and a comma.
Yes.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do formatting.
Okay.
Okay? So in short, it hits a parenthesis once you use the string format function method. Anytime there's a percent sign, it goes for a few places. We'll see soon how many places it goes to, and plops the parameter in there. Okay, let me know when you're ready, and I'll pop back into the code. Okay. So basically, these are the formatting instructions. Once you hit a parentheses sign for a couple of spaces, we'll see soon how many. That tells Java how you want to format it, and this is what you want to format. Okay. Okay, so here's basically everything you need to know. Everything after the percent sign, up to and including the type indicator, which is usually just D or F.
Just D or F.
That's usually the last one. So if you notice over here, I have F, I have F, I have D, I have F.
Can you do %.2D?
Probably, but I have no idea. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not an expert at this stuff because these stuff are not the type of stuff you want to memorize. If you want to memorize how it works, that's cool also. But in general, if you need something, you just do a quick Google or you have the standard ones used. I mean, in general, you'd be using 2 decimal points, you know, with a point and with a commas or without commas. You're not going to use that many variations. But try it out. Most probably you can. Okay? Okay, so here are what can go after the percent sign. You have percent sign and then type. So this would be percent, and you have D or F.
Right.
Over here, these are all optional. Okay?
So with argument number, flags with. Okay, I'm gonna read it afterwards.
Yeah. So let's look at this example over here. Here's an example. You have percentage, right? Okay. This next one, you have a flag, which is comma, which means I want commas inside the thing.
Okay.
6 means I only want it to be 6 things wide.
Like after 6.
We'll see soon. Basically, if it's like 42, it'll say 000042.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Why would you use that? I have no idea. But maybe you say you want to use that. I don't know why. Precision would
Maybe
mean...
tell when you're doing count, count after the 6th number and give me the number is ID number. When they tell you give me the 4 left number,
Right, yeah, you can use that.
maybe tell you do x666 and just show him the 4 number.
Yeah, there's nothing uses for it. I mean, standard, most times you won't have to use it. Precision would be, again, how much points after the percent, after the decimal, after the dot, you know what I mean? So you have 4.2, that'd be 1 place after, so you do 0.1. If you want to go 4.0, do 0.2. Okay, so this is basically all you need to know. And again, this is just, you really don't have to memorize this stuff. I've lived, SQL has the same type of stick, and so is C#. I never memorized that. I've programmed for 10 years, and anytime I need to do some formatting, do a quick lookup. And in my entire life, with programming, I've had to use percentage signs with, no decimal points, that 1 decimal or 2 decimal points, and some commas. It's like a variation of 6 things.
Since we know that, this we have, we're gonna do something.
Right. So in general, you're gonna be using a string format, and this is what you're gonna use. Okay. Most of the time, you'll be using decimal points or floating. So you have F or D when you make something into a number.
Floating or double.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, ready? Okay, so that's it, string formatting.
Oh.
Now you have to date formatting. Okay? The main difference between number and date formatting is that date formats use a 2-character type that starts with T. Okay, for example, let's look over here. See over here I have TC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we're passing in this date, which is the a new date. We'll see what that means.
So new date is like, yeah, it's give you the date.
Yeah, like a timestamp. Okay, so look what happens when I print it out. Okay, so if you see over here, this percentage TC equals this. Tuesday, September 9th, 9th, it was a full description of today.
Oh, percent TC give you all the date.
Everything. Tuesday, September 9th, 1905, 43 seconds,
So,
EDT 2014.
So if you're doing percentage that you can, you can.
So look at the next one. The next one I have. Now we'll see soon what this means over here in a second. But just for now, look what it does. Tuesday, September 9th.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. And we'll see soon what this means.
Why
I'll tell you right now.
Why did it come a new date and why it's not using with date 1?
Say it again.
When you put new dates on the list system on the list.
This over here?
Yes. Why not using with just with the date 1?
Just to show you they can do either way.
Oh, okay.
Because you're making a new one over here, but you don't actually have to sign it to the variable because it just pops right into there. Okay, but here's something cool.
Ooh.
Look at this over here. I have 3 percentage signs. Yeah, I'm not passing in three strings, 3 arguments.
Yeah, because the new date has every today because in Tuesday is object, September is an object, and 09 also. This is inside there. They have 3 parameters.
Okay, but but usually when you hit a percent sign, for example, look at this one. Percent. It passed this one over here and this one over here.
Yeah, but in the new date method, there's more than one,
A date has all the different parts. I hear you.
Yeah.
So the trick over here, you see this over here?
Yeah.
See this? Okay. That symbol means use the same argument that was in this one.
Yeah.
And this over here means the same thing. So over here.
So B is the date. So what does it mean A, B, D?
So TA means get Tuesday. TB means September. TD means get 09. And since I use this, it's just using this one date for all of them. So if I didn't do this, I would have to go like this and go like this.
Didn't design.
Yeah, I would have to go like this.
Delete design.
Yeah. So you see how much shorter it is?
In the book they tell about this?
Yeah. Yeah. This is what you'd have to do if you didn't even use this. Okay? So if you want to use one argument to apply to many things, just use this symbol and it'll use it.
So basically the B is TB is mean Java term is mean to take the months in work.
Yeah, let me put it in the string.
TD it's tell them to take it in a number.
Right.
So if you have a different method like
there's
foo method, dog method. If you instead use this
it will fail.
It
only takes a date. If you don't pass a date, then it'll fail. Yeah. Yeah. So all these string formats, if you don't put in the right thing, it'll fail on you.
No, I thought you can use like when you tell me right now this sign that you made right now, the smaller you tell the new date to use in every what is.
Right.
So beside that, the other method you can use it.
Oh, you're saying that?
Yeah.
Like
if you have.
I have no idea. No idea. It's a good question though.
You can write in this.
Yeah, that's a very good. It's a very good question.
Write code that you can make. That's it. You don't.
Yeah.
Seriously? Java take it.
It's a very good question.
So work on that.
It's a big one. It'll be a lot of work.
We have to work on that. Like to put a method. It's not that you write the same 2 methods, so it's using it with 1 method, and you.
Yeah. It's a good question.
Wow. So hard.
It's a very good question. It's good. It's good.
If you're doing, I'm gonna let you. This is my idea. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, so notice that we used for a date over here. We just use date. Date gets a timestamp. It's got some stuff on it. You can get all the current date out of it. But we'll see soon. Okay, so look over here. We're done with formatting. The string formatting, the date formatting. Now let's work with dates itself. Okay, I don't know if I have any test code I wrote for this stuff. Let's see. Don't really have anything on here really, but let's just let's walk through some of the stuff anyways. Okay, so a calendar is you want to work with calendar stuff. You really want to do some date stuff like what's today's date plus 30 days, or what's in a year from now, or give me every single the first of the month for the past 10 years. You use a thing called this.
Yeah. And then you write the code or how you pass it.
So see now. Okay. Let's read through this. For a timestamp of now, we use date, like we did above, right? Here, do date, right? But for everything else, use calendar. When you want to work with dates, you ask for a calendar through a static method of the calendar class, right? Calendar.getInstance.
Static again. Yeah, it's not fucking on this environment. It's not dependent on
right. So if you notice over here, this is pretty cool. Calendar.getInstance is a method, and this method is returning an instance to you. Look, I'm doing cal, but I'm not doing new calendar.
Oh yeah, it's not like mad at random. No, we're always doing that. You can static. No, I'm gonna tell you that. Non-static can access to static. Static cannot access to non-static.
Right.
Yeah. So this is what you're doing right now.
No, so this is over here. You can't see what their code is, but behind the scenes. This over here, I'll show you behind the scenes, like a basic idea of whatever you're doing. Obviously, it's not exactly. Let's just do a basic. Watch this. Let's just test that job for a second. I don't have the code look like code. Okay. What's going on over here? Okay, so imagine they have this fast calendar, right? So they'll have a method in there, a static method called getInstance, right? So it'll be static, it'll be public too, because they don't want to see it.
Oh yeah.
Public static, and it returns a calendar.
So it's constructor?
No, not a constructor.
The calendar.
It returns a calendar. It's well, the thing is actually called getInstance. It looks somewhat, but it's not. It's a getInstance, but it's returning a calendar.
Like in type of calendar.
Yeah, it's returning a calendar, like a type calendar, like a type string, a type integer.
Yeah.
So what's happening inside here? When you run this calendar getInstance, it's going like this. If you, it's not obviously real code, are in US, return a US calendar instance. Return basically this new calendar. That's what's going to happen behind the scenes. And if you're in China, return a Chinese calendar.
What does it mean?
In other words, this code, calendar instance, is smart enough to detect what you are. So if you are a US programmer running a Java JVM, over here, basically you do this and you get a calendar that's an American calendar.
So
if you're in China and you run this, because when you install the JVM, you can put some settings in there that say anytime this is called, instead of, we're not going to discuss that, because we're only going to use it anyways. But for Chinese, they can do it, this from now on will return a Chinese calendar. That's what's happening behind the scenes. This is a basic gist of what's happening.
After I can go to Google and see how does it do.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need it, because you'll always be using this anyways. Yeah. But if you want to check it out, it's cool anyways. Okay. Okay. So dates, so calendar stuff, this really you'll have to just play around with to see how it works. But in general, the calendar, we have a calendar object. You can put state in there, like it's instance variables, like say, what the date is, the month is, etc. And then you can also have, like,
so how you can put instance if it's static?
No. This method is static. Remember, just because a method is static doesn't mean the whole class is static.
Yeah.
So it returns an object, but this method itself is static. Okay, so let's look at an example over here. Ready? This is this, and this is the output. And then we're basically done. Okay, so calendar C equals new calendar getInstance. So now C is a new calendar object. C.set 204, 2004, 07, this is how you would set it to January 7, 2004 at 15:40 p.m. Wait, not p.m. because it's 15:40, since it's
15:40.
Right, Army time. Okay, so you see that's how you would set it.
It's better.
Yeah. Okay, long day 1. We're doing over here. We're going to turn a long, which is like we never use that primitive, but it's
yeah, but it's a long number.
Right, and we'll turn this in milliseconds. Okay. In other words, each date in Java has a milliseconds representation. I think they start sometime over here. Yeah, see 1970?
Yeah.
So the first millisecond in 1970 is 0.1. The second millisecond 0.2. So right now we're like, 9,000 billion. So the reason why you do this is you can have a clear, exactly the time. If you're trying to find, for example, like people just bet on a stock. They want to buy a stock. Find which one came through first. You can do it at a millisecond. Because that,
I know.
Okay.
So basically, all those stuff is the method that's inside the calendar.
Yeah. Okay. Now look over here. Day 1. You can do this. Just times it. This is, remember, this now is a long. So this is a primitive number. Or times it by 1,000, whatever it is, right? We add this on.
Plus equals.
Yeah, plus equals. We're adding on 1,000 plus 60 plus 60. And then we can set time in milliseconds. So you basically just added, there's a function, there's a method in the calendar that's called set time milliseconds. So which basically means, give me your milliseconds and I'll tell you exactly what day that is.
Oh, so I'm saying then, what is it going to be? Past or in the future?
Any way you want.
How do you know best?
Look, I can do minus equals and minus something.
Okay.
So over here, if you notice,
Okay.
if you take milliseconds, whatever the thing is, and times by this, you're basically adding an hour. So this would set the time 1 hour in the future. So if you have a date and you want to go 1 hour ahead, do this. Make a long, add this, and add the time to this. Okay? Then look over here. Then there's this hour of a day, which is a variable. Look what happens. It prints out this. Right? It used to be 15. We added an hour, and now it's 16.
You had an hour.
Over here. Set time in milliseconds. We added this day 1, which we added over here 1,000 times 60 times 60, which is an hour.
1,000 times 60 times. How is that?
Why? Because 1,000 is a millisecond. Times 60 is 1 second. Sorry, times 60 is 1 minute. Times 60 is 1 hour.
How did you figure out that
I didn't figure this out. The book showed me.
How did you figure out that the 1,000 is a millisecond? Why the 60 is not?
This over here, get time milliseconds returns milliseconds.
Oh, so that the return?
This is day 1, and it has in milliseconds. And over here, we're doing 1,000 times 60 times 60, and adding it to that. That's just how it is. That's how it works. This, if you have a milliseconds, this is how you get another hour.
So what do you return when you're doing get time millisecond? What does it return?
It's like a number, a long number.
For this day? For right day?
For that exact moment, that millisecond in time.
So if you're doing day 1 plus 1,060, so...
Right, you're getting 1 hour ahead of that.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, I just want to know how does he know that the 1,000 is a millisecond and not minute? Why the 1,000 is a millisecond and not minute?
I'll show you why. Look, this returns over here. Imagine this.
Yeah, but if you're gonna do 60 times 1,000 times 60, you understand what I mean? If you're gonna do 60 times 1,000 times 60,
it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Times you're gonna put no matter where you're gonna put the 1,000.
Yeah. Which is right. Yeah, 1,000 times 60 times 60. Basically, let's do the math right here. Right? I'm not gonna make myself look stupid, so let's just do it.
6,000 times 60.
If you have 1,000 times 60 times 60, there you go. 3.6 million milliseconds is 1 hour. Okay? So we have these, this is milliseconds, we're adding this amount of milliseconds, and that means another hour. Okay, and they were setting that over here, the time milliseconds, so we just added that date to be another hour in the future. Okay, these are some general stuff. Over here you can get the time, so we're doing the time. Over here you get time, etc. Huh?
What is C roll?
C roll over here. Okay, roll. You see over here? Roll 35 days on this date. This roll the date 35 days, but does not change the month. Why would you use that? I have no idea. Add makes sense. You add 35 days. But I don't know why you roll 35 days. It just stays in the same month, just going circles. And over here, set date 1. We're not incrementing. We're just setting the date. So over here, we just set it to February 1st. It used to be February 17th. We're setting February 1st. We're not. Okay? Cool?
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, calendars, unless you have to work with it, I don't expect you or myself to memorize how it works. Basically, you have to deal...
Yeah. Well, I know if I need those stuff, like method that I need to know, just type in and get method, but it's not...
Yeah, so it's definitely good to play around with it, but at the end of the day, until you have a project that actually needs calendar stuff, you're not going to know exactly how your client wants to use it. You're not going to... It's not like something that has a standard approach to it. I mean, everyone wants a different way of looking at their calendar. And then here's, if you want to look at that calendar, here's some more stuff they have. Here's some of the fields. Here's some of the methods. We did this one already. We set it already. We did add already.
Okay.
That is it, Khabib. This chapter is important, but I wouldn't say it's critical like the other chapters.
Next chapter is 11. It's not the GUI stuff.